Hey guys, how's it going? It's Newer here. I'm going to teach you guys how to farm some resources pretty easily. So let's get started. First off, you definitely want to have your own farming set for this. So here's mine. This is what I use. You don't really, I guess it doesn't really matter what you run. As long as you have a certain amount of skills required, I'll get into that right now. So here's the most important two, or I guess three I would say, is Master Gatherer, Honey Hunter, and Forager's Luck. You definitely need that in your set for this to be optimal. Without, like, you can have anything else in your set, like everything else is preference, but that's the most important part. For my gear, I run a pretty much minimalist set because I want to pick up stuff along the way of farming these resources. So you want to have a lot of inventory space. You can even get rid of your power charms and stuff if you want as well, but I like to keep them just in case. For food, you want to use a voucher to get all your skills. And we're going to have a combination of 4 green alcohols and 2 yellows. We use this combination to get Feline Exchanger and Feline Harvester. And that's pretty much all we want from food buffs to help us farm. Next up, we want to go to Elder Assess. Optimally, you'd want to go when there's an upsurge for barrels, because that's where we're going to get most of our resources from, but you don't have to. In this video, we won't be doing it, because I didn't want to fish for getting the upsurge, but if you want to make the most bang for your buck, that's kind of where you want to, when and where you want to farm. Alright, so we're going to go on our run here, just grab this honey, we're going to go up the little vines here for our first barrel camp. The important thing to note is while you're doing it is bring a cat pet with you that has the hunting horn to get some buffs. This will help for a various amount of things. You can get a stamina buff to make you make running a lot easier, and in some instances you can get the headphone earplug buff, or if a monster roars, you can kind of ignore it for a fair amount. That can come in handy as well. But as long as you keep rolling these buffs while farming, it helps. Next, we're going to go down here. We're going to grab 2 bitter bugs on the left side. There's 1, and there's 2. We're going to turn around. We're going to jump down this valley. There should be a dung in the little corner here behind this plant. And the thing with dung that I've noticed is that it has a very long respawn timer, or it only spawns when you first get into the map. And then it's dropped by monsters that path in certain places. So kind of pick it up where you can and keep note of that while you're moving around. And make sure you grab some of these monster droppings here. Like the Ergon Rut there. It's just free resources and it's right in the way anyways. It takes 2 seconds to grab, so I might as well just pick it up. After this barrel deposit, we're gonna get out of here. After we get the footstep, open up our map, go back to Camp 8. From here, we're going to turn around, grab this wedge beetle, and go down this hole. If you're really low on Zenny as well, you can pick up these ores. I don't, strictly because I'm aiming mostly for just resources and some bugs and whatnot along the way, because they're bitter bugs and honey are pretty much your cookie cutter for a lot of items you craft in this game, so they're pretty important. Same thing with dung pods. They're pretty expensive resource-wise, and dung is pretty scarce to find, so might as well pick that up and save yourself some resources in the long run. You're gonna jump down here, grab this fruit, and some bugs along the way before we go into the cave. Grab that honey, we're gonna go to the left, go down this waterway that's going to connect to the other camp. But along the way, there's a barrel deposit. We grab that. Now, if you are filling up your bags with a lot of stuff and you're full before you get to this part, if you're aiming to not only get resources but a couple other items, then you can deposit them at that camp that we just passed. There are also cool drinks you can get along the way. Before we jump down in that earlier segment on our first barrel deposit area, you can drink a cool drink to make these runs easier instead of having to take some heat damage. But it might slow down your farm. But if you don't want to take any damage, you can definitely drink some. You'll lose a couple of seconds, but it'll be worth the gain if you're worried about dying here. But that's why I use a temp mantle and a guile. Guile is pretty important because it can help you pretty much not get touched by any monster when you have it on. It's really, really useful. In addition to making you lose aggro to some lesser monsters and sometimes even bigger monsters. Grab these footsteps here. The thing to note about footsteps or any other monster dropping is you can't actually do an action for quite a while after picking it up. So I think I should have ignored that second footstep and just kept going. But it's up to you in your discretion if you want to waste a little bit more time and pick up a little bit of more resource. I just wanted to move a little bit away from the bugs in case they aggroed me and hit me. I'm going to be able to teleport out. You want to go back to Camp 8, you can store your items here as well. It's usually what I do is do them at 8. And that's pretty much the run. And I'm just going to reset the run here just to show that pretty much have enough time to cycle through the run and get everything. Everything respawns into each other. So it's a pretty nice small route that you can do and get a lot of resources out of. Just gonna farm these barrel deposits and then probably end the campaign after the first set of the rotation. There's the cool drink mushroom. So you can pick that up and use that as a cool drink if you want. I'll demonstrate here. You don't have to worry about any heat damage. As I noted earlier, there's no dung this time when I come down. So I think it only spawns at the start of the map, like I mentioned earlier. Get a decent amount of thunderbugs as well from this run, so shock traps, and I think we get flash bugs as well earlier within the cat cave, or just before it, which helps for flash pods. And that's it, that's the run. So let's see how much resources we get from this. That was 1.5 sets.
いざ。
So there you go. We got around 6,000 resources for 7 minutes of farming, which is insane. You pretty much never have to worry about resources again. And there you have it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching my video. I stream as well, so come check that out sometimes. Follow me on Twitter. Join my Discord. See you guys next time. Peace.